Hello and welcome to our Marsh Creek Narwhals, 6th graders, soon to be 7th graders. We are excited to bring you our annual Downingtown Middle School Course Selection Parent Presentation. My name is Dr. Indeglio, and I am the proud principal of Downingtown Middle School, and I'm joined today by our wonderful instructional coach at DMS, Miss Tuckloff Van Zant. How are you today, Miss TV?
Good morning, Dr. Indeglio. I am well, and I look forward to welcoming our future DMS students.
Now, as we get ready to embark on this presentation, I just want to give a little disclaimer. This is obviously much different than how we usually do things, as we are doing a video instead of an actual parent night due to the ongoing pandemic and the different way we're doing schooling this year. But this video is not going to be very much different than the video your students saw a week or two ago that was sent home from Mr. Mulvey and Mr. Burkhead. So we'll try to pepper in some good parent information as well, but if you already feel comfortable with the course selection process, we're probably not going to be adding a whole lot new here. So if you want to save yourself the time, we understand, but you'll miss out on our excellent banter. Okay, here we go. So, at Downingtown Middle School in 7th grade and then 8th grade, you will take 5 core classes. Now, the core classes in 7th grade look very similar to the core classes that took place at the Marsh Creek 6th grade center. You will have a math class, you will have an English literature class called ELA Lit, and you'll have an English writing class called ELA Writing. In addition to that, you will have American history, and you will have science. Now, in 7th grade, for English Lit and for English Writing, there are 2 choices. Students were recommended for either Level 1 or Level 2. Level 1 is just somewhat accelerated, go a little bit deeper into topics and maybe move a little bit faster, but all of the foundational core curriculum is the same in both levels. In American history, we cover everything from the establishment of the colonies all the way through the new country, and science in 7th grade covers ecology and physics. Now, as you move on to 8th grade, Miss TV, we have 1 period of ELA, and the reason we have 1 period of ELA is because we add in a full course for world language, and that's a Level 1 world language. What does that mean, Miss TV?
That means that students can choose from French, German, or Spanish, and it's likely that they will continue with what they were studying at the 6th grade center at Marsh Creek, and also what they took in 7th grade. And this will have the year-long, where the periods meet every day, so it's every day of the cycle, and students will complete that Level 1, that's the foundation to get them into the deeper language study and take them into a Level 2 course when they get to the high school.
Wow, so lots of excitement that takes place between 7th and 8th grade going on there. As far as math goes, all of our students, after they're leaving 6th grade, will move on to their next natural math progression, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later as well. So I guess a little bit later, Miss TV, is right now.
It's right now.
Yeah.
It's important. That was well timed, Dr. Indeglio.
So what we've discovered over the past several years, by looking very closely at our district statistics and looking at the involvement of mathematics in the country over time, we have found that the race we embraced for a while, which was to get to Algebra 1 as fast as possible, it has failed for the most part. What we have found is that students who were taking Algebra 1 at the middle level before, they skipped an incredible amount of foundational content. And as they reached higher levels of math at the high school level, those missing foundations started to catch up to them. And even though the students did well in the Algebra 1 course, what they missed and what they needed as a background for other courses were coming back to bite us later. And as it turns out, we'll show you a statistic in a moment, a lot of kids didn't even make it to that higher level math. So what we did 2 years ago was we reassessed and redid a lot of our 7th and 8th grade math curriculum in order to fully embrace all the skills that will leap off into the other courses available much later. Which is really what we were looking to do and trying to do. Our goal is to have students be taking their grade level courses, and we don't really want to skip over content anymore. We don't want to skip courses. We want students to have the best foundation possible. So Algebra 1, back in 2012-2013 school year, we had 122 students who took Algebra 1 in 7th grade back then. When you look at the students from that 122 who actually made it to Calculus BC, which is the highest level of math offered, only 11 out of 122 students made it that far. 20 students who went to STEM reached the IB Math 2, which is the higher level math at that point. So you can see the statistics there and the drop-off that occurred. So we have found that over the past 2 years, we've got this pretty much down to a science. We feel good about that progression, and we want you to feel good about it as well. Now, on to some of the fun stuff, Miss TV. We have, in 7th grade, 3 required Encore classes that all students must take. Now, if you just think about this from a period perspective, through the course of the day, 7th grade students have 2 different periods where they have an Encore class. These Encore classes meet twice a cycle, and we have a 6-day cycle, which means in each Encore period, they have 3 different classes. And those classes can be mixed and matched depending on how kind of the schedule plays out. But we need our students to take phys ed, we need our students to take health, and then they get to choose a 2 times per cycle World Language Expeditions course in the language of their choice, which you referenced earlier, Miss TV. Anything to add about the World Language Expeditions course?
The World Language Expeditions course, as you said, Dr. Ndeglia, will happen 2 times during the 6-day cycle. And it's very likely that your student will take the same the same language that they chose at the 6th grade center. It will either be French, German, or Spanish. And it's a continuation. We have set it up so there are 2 chapters that you cover in the 6th grade center and 2 chapters that you cover in the 7th grade center. And this is also foundational. 7th grade is DMS. This is also foundational for that level 1 class that the students will enroll in when they get to 8th grade.
Wow. And in regards to our health curriculum, which we have tailored over the course of 2 years, so students will take that in both 7th and 8th grade, we really have focused a lot on the mental health issues that have been taking place throughout the country and across the globe, and really trying to work on mindfulness, coping skills, and educating our students to be able to deal with the stressors that exist in the world. During COVID times, more than ever, this is very, very applicable.
It is, and because so many of our teachers also have children of their own that have come through Downingtown, this is a really, really valuable program to them as well. And they have been focusing on that wellness, how we can incorporate it more often and continue to make that a regular part of our lifestyle.
All right. Now, that still leaves 3 spaces for students to choose a class of their own. Choice Encores 2 times per cycle. So, your students, as they're making their course selections, are going to pick some Choice Encores and elect some alternates as well. Now, we do our best at the middle level to give students what they ask for, but we can't guarantee it. The schedule just doesn't play out that way. Unfortunately, we can't be completely like Burger King, who says, have it your way. But we do our best. So the different areas you have choices in, and we would like students to take 1 course from each of these disciplines at least once in their 7th and 8th grade year. So we've got 3 different awesome art classes. We've got your general art class. We have iArt, which is computer-based, so a lot of awesome things taking place on the Macs and the iPads. And 3D art, which is clay and jewelry making and other things that I don't do very well, but I like doing them. For Tech Ed, we've got our Science of Technology class and our Energy and the Environment class, which is a lot of fun. And in 8th grade, students can choose between automation and robotics or design and modeling. Very, very cool as well. Family Consumer Science is probably the single most popular Encore at the middle level. Students love to cook. They love making things in the sewing room. And more importantly, we don't often talk about this, they learn a lot of functional life skills. How to manage checking accounts. What does credit card debt look like? Things like that. And in music, we obviously have a lot of students who participate in one of the 3 different music disciplines: chorus, vocal ensemble, string orchestra, or band. However, our general music class is significantly cool, and garage band, ukuleles, piano, keyboard, you name it, they try it. So Miss TV, what would you add about any of these Choice Encore classes?
We have a very strong department for our Encore classes, and they are so excited also to welcome the students and help them reach new levels of creativity while they're at DMS.
Well said. Now, we also offer during the Encore times a variety of different support classes as well. Many of these classes require an IEP, and I don't want to dwell too long on these because these are usually scheduled very specifically with students and families, so it doesn't necessarily apply to the general population. However, we do offer a variety of different reading courses that usually replaces perhaps a history class, a science class, or a world language class. Math extensions, which is a support class for mathematics. An academic expeditions class, which is executive functioning and cognitive command, kind of learning how to be a student. And then a lot of our other support classes involve executive functioning, writing math, social dynamics, and different functional strategies as well. So once again, all of that is really done on a case-by-case basis specifically, so we won't dwell on this particular area here too much. Now, everyone wants to know a couple things when they get to the middle school. 1, will I be able to open my locker? 2, will I get stuck in my locker? And that is, we have proven that you cannot fit in a locker. So you can't be stuffed into a locker. This year we're not using lockers, but hopefully next year as things get back to normal, so will everything else. So our homeroom period is from 7:40 to 7:50. We take attendance. The morning announcements take place during a normal year. And then at the end of the day, students go back to their homerooms for Reach. And Reach is a half hour or so time period at the end of the day where we have a variety of SEL, social emotional learning lessons. If we have school-wide activities for our positive behavioral support system, they take place then. And we have academic support that takes place during that time too. Lastly, everyone wants to know about lunch. We have 3 lunch periods throughout the day. Both 7th and 8th graders eat lunch together. Your lunch assignments are solely based on where they fit in your academic schedule. So there's no trick to lunches. It's not done by teams. It's not done by grade level. It's just wherever the schedule can fit you so we can do our best to get kids the classes they need. And Miss TV, I mean, the lunches aren't bad, right?
The lunches here are delicious.
Miss Holly, who is our lunch maker, she makes a mean wrap. I mean, when she's got wraps on the menu, got to get the wraps.
The other day, I think they had cheesesteaks even.
They did.
And there's a nice balance of healthy snacks for the students to eat as well.
And unhealthy snacks, too. Those are my favorite. All right. So as we get closer to the end of the year, students are going to be introduced to a whole bunch of activities that are available at Downingtown Middle School. I just wanted to share one quick thing so you kind of know how things work here. So this is a very different type of year, right? And what we did was, since we couldn't do a lot of things in person, we established virtual clubs for the school year this year. So just an example of some of the different amazing clubs we have this year. We've got a Friday night dinner club where Miss Williams, one of our FCS teachers, puts out a recipe to students and staff early in the week. They gather the materials, and then they meet on Friday nights via Zoom and cook meals together. We have gaming clubs where some of the students play Roblox, Among Us, and other cool things like that. We have a ghost story club that just started out. We've got a club pretty much for anything. Miss TV, what is your favorite club? Or if you could have a favorite club, what would it be?
Well, I'm definitely a foodie, Dr. Indeglia, so Foodie Friday is top of my list. I think what's great about these clubs is it's an additional connection for the students to make with other students as well as staff members. They may not have that staff member as one of their assigned teachers, but they might make that important connection with that adult who can really help them during their time here at DMS.
And one of the things we know for a fact at the middle level is that relationships, rapport, those are the single most important things. So we have to find a way to make those connections. And this was one way to kind of do that this year, given the very unique way we were meeting students this year. One of the other important things to mention, and you already know this at Marsh Creek because you use Schoology, is that Schoology is our communication platform for students. All of their classes communicate this way, and we communicate a lot of school information as well. So students will get announcements through a post called the Lancer Look, and they'll also get a variety of different posts from classes and groups and athletic teams and clubs that they're in. Now, Miss TV, as our instructional coach, as our Schoology expert, What would you want the parents to know, Miss TV, about Schoology?
If you haven't been part of Schoology yet, I really strongly recommend that you get connected to Schoology, and I can help you with that, or there's numerous teachers that can help you also. You can reach us via email for that type of assistance if you need it. One of the things that I really like about Schoology is that I can have those notifications sent to my cell phone so I can see any really pertinent information that is posted with speed. And if it's something that I need to address quickly, that can happen. There's also support for parents in Schoology on our website. But please don't hesitate to reach out to any of us if you have any questions.
So Schoology is cool.
Coology.
Coology. Now, you mentioned resources, Miss TV. One of your biggest resources over the 2 years you'll be at Downingtown Middle School are going to be your school counselors. And we'd like to give you a brief introduction to those people now.
Hello, Lancers. Welcome to the virtual start to the 2021 school year. My name is Mr. Shirley. I'm a member of the Guidance/Prevention Specialist team here at DMS, and I'm here to introduce myself. I am a school counselor, and I work with students with the last names A through HAL. Mrs. Lyman is my neighbor at our building, and she's the next part of the alphabet.
Hi everyone, so as Mr. Shirley said, I'm Mrs. Lyman, and I'm one of the school counselors, and I see students with the last name starting with HAM through PET. Hi, I'm the third school counselor. My name is Mrs. Whitmer, and I see students with the last names PU through C. Hi everyone, my name is Ms. McFiner, and I am the prevention specialist here at EMS. I have the ability to work with all of you guys. If you're really struggling, you can always go to your counselor and ask for another support here, or if you need help getting connected to some resources in the community, you can always reach out to me on Schoology, you can send me an email, whatever works best for you. And so, students, just a reminder, if you ever need to reach out to your counselor, we're all here, we're happy to help. You know that this is a difficult way to do school. So if you're struggling with, class, if you're struggling with establishing a routine, if you're struggling with feeling disconnected and looking for ways to, connect and make school more fun, those are all things that we can do. So please don't hesitate to reach us either on Schoology or email, and we are happy to help. Can't wait to meet you, and I think we're doing a pretty good job with this. What do you think, Pete?
Yeah.
High fives all around.
All right. All right, thank you, and we look forward to seeing you. If you're looking for us, look for us on Schoology. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, Lancers. Welcome to the virtual start to the 2021
I don't want to make it stop, Miss
school year.
TV. There we go.
There you go.
So that is our presentation for you today, or for tonight, whenever you're watching this. Who knows? It's totally up to you at this point. Welcome to 2021. One final thing I want to mention about Downingtown Middle School, and that is, while we talked a lot about academics today, that is not the sole focus of what we try to do here. We try to provide learning and eventually achievement in the areas of social, emotional, behavioral, and academic learning. We do that by espousing our school-wide positive behavioral support motto, which is be respectful, be responsible, and be resourceful. And wrapped into that is also kindness and grace. But more so than learning content in any particular subject matter, we want students to build skills that they will have for a lifetime. And these are the skills that employers want. These are the skills that have been shown to lead to success. And those skills are the ability to think critically, communicate, collaborate, and to creatively problem solve. So that's what we try to be all about here at DMS, relationships and a little bit of fun along the way too. Miss TV, what would you say to wrap things up?
Here at DMS, we are a family, and we can't wait to welcome your students.
Have a great day, and thanks for joining us.